Are you making a huge mistake by missing one of the most incredible Chicago suburbs? I lived here for over 20 years, from my early childhood well into my 20s. And what I'm about to show you is one of the most overlooked towns here. In this video, I'm going to show you why commuters love it, how everyday life here actually works, and by the end of this video, you'll know if this town is right for you and your family. And that place I'm talking about today is Addison. So let's start with why it works so well and who always finds themselves living here. When you live somewhere long enough, you realize how much location actually matters. I'll give you the realest way to understand how good this location is. Before I could drive, we walked, rollerbladed, rode bikes everywhere. We could cover this entire town in a day. And then I turned 16 and that unlocked everything. Trips to the Schaumburg Mall felt effortless, visiting a friend's house on the other side of town, seeing a movie, heading out to Chicago, nothing felt out of reach. Looking back, this is probably why I fell in love with this town in the first place. You see, depending on where you live in Addison, you can be minutes from I-290, I-355, I-294, North Ave, and Lake Street. This is the commuter's dream. Let me show you where all these roads are so you can see exactly how central you are to every major connected highway and why this town makes sense for most people. From 16 until my 20s, I worked many jobs in many towns like Villa Park, Elk Grove, St. Charles. The commute was never, ever the problem. Now, fast forward to today, as someone who's now career focused, married with children, my priorities changed, but the need to be centrally located never did. Getting kids to activities, short trips to shopping, hitting the city from time to time, and being close to everywhere without feeling overwhelmed by it. That's why so many people settle down here and they never leave. Because this town is truly a commuter's dream, no matter where you work. And by the way, if you're thinking of relocating to Chicago or the suburbs, this is what I do every single day. So feel free to give me a call or sign up for my weekly newsletter right here. Most people don't wake up thinking about highways. They're thinking, where can I grab groceries, gas, and just get on with my day? So if you're really asking, where can I get almost all of my everyday shopping done? There's two areas in town that cover almost everything here. In the one stretch by 53, you've got Sam's Club, Aldi, and Walmart, along with some gas stations. There used to be a Best Buy here actually, but now that's over in Bloomingdale. But this, for everyday life, this area covers just about everything. If you're doing bulk shopping or you need gas, people usually compare Sam's Club and Costco's here. And in Addison, Sam's Club's the clear winner. If you need the 80 pack of toilet paper during COVID, right? Or the 24 pack of Monsters, or whatever crazy stockpiling you're gonna need to do, this is where you're gonna get it done. If you don't need the bulk sizes, you've got two easy options right next door. Walmart is Walmart, of course. Groceries, clothes, pharmacy, electronics, household items, it's all there. But my favorite has always been the Aldi. It's smaller, you get in, you get out, and you get on with your day. Now make sure you have a quarter for the cart and some shopping bags, or you're gonna be like me sometimes, just chucking every item in the trunk. It's annoying. Make sure you have those two things. Now on the other side of town, you've got two longtime staples, Jewel Osco and the Lens Ace Hardware. Jewel has been here as long as I can remember. And the nice thing about the location is it sits in a larger strip center, so you can usually knock out multiple shops all in one shot. And then there's Lens Ace Hardware, which feels like a quieter Home Depot or Menards. When you need a random nut, bolt, some paint, or any electrical part, this has always been my go-to here. Now I love Home Depot and other big box retailers, but Ace just feels different. It's smaller, more down-home feeling, it's really easy to navigate, and everything that works there is always so friendly. All right, great location, tons of shopping covered, but what really matters here is what kind of homes are here and how much are they? Addison was incorporated back in 1884, but most of the homes you see were built in the 1950s through the 1970s. That classic suburban area that encompass ranches, raised ranches, and split-level homes, which make up the majority of the housing here. You'll also see some two-story homes, just not as many, and those tend to be concentrated on the west side of the town. These three main home styles are scattered all throughout Addison. I actually grew up in a ranch myself, and most of my friends, they lived in split levels or raised ranches. And between my past career and working in real estate, I've been inside over 15,000 homes. So when you talk about layouts, construction, and value, This all comes from my real world experience. If you're not familiar with what a raised ranch is, you usually walk into a small landing, and from there you go upstairs to main living space, kitchen and bedrooms, or downstairs to lower level living with the bathrooms and often the garage entrances. Split level is a little bit different. You walk into main living, dining and kitchen, and then you either go up a few steps to the bedrooms or a few steps down to living space, laundry, or another bathroom. And a ranch is exactly what most people think, single level living, often with full basements here. One thing you'll notice across Addison is how similar the construction styles are here. A lot of brick. You'll see brick ranches, brick and siding combinations on the raised ranches, the split levels, and even the 2 stories. But almost every home has brick somewhere here. It's that mid-century construction. It's a big reason these homes kind of held up so well. Now, I grew up on the east side of town, right off Addison Road, not far from my favorite pizza place, which we will get into later. This is where Addison really stands out. When you compare home prices to nearby towns with similar highway access and location, the value gap is completely obvious. The median single-family home price in Addison is around $415,000. Compare that to Elmhurst at roughly $635,000, Bloomingdale at over $525,000, and Itasca at just about $522,000. When you look at price position alone, Addison quickly becomes one of the best value plays in the area. You're getting similar access, similar location, established neighborhoods without paying the premium that some of these other towns charge you. Now let's talk about where we spend much of our time growing up, from 5 years old to 18, and that is going to be schools. First, I'll throw a map on the screen so you can see exactly where everything sits here. Addison keeps this pretty simple. You've got 7 elementary schools, 1 middle school, and 1 high school. And one thing Addison does really well is how all the schools are spread throughout the town. They're woven into the neighborhoods, and they're not just pushed to the edges of the town. Most of the town is served by District 4 for elementary and middle school, and the high school is served by District 88. You'll see sites like Niche and Great Schools that rate schools and communities. If schools are important to you, I always recommend taking a look at those sites. Now just remember, they're only one data point. It's not the full picture. Here's one thing school maps don't really show, and it really affects your daily life more than you expect. Bus routes versus walkability. Depending on where you live in town, some kids can walk to school, while others rely on the bus. If your child takes the bus, mornings kind of seem simple. You drop them off at the bus, you get on with your day. Now, if they can't, that usually means you're gonna drop them off, you gotta do pickups, and you might have to rearrange your school, unless the kids are old enough to walk themselves home. Now, it might not be a deal breaker, but it's one thing you might want to consider. If you're finding yourself having questions about the Chicago market, give me a call or sign up for my weekly emails right here, where I keep you updated on the market, local shops, places to check out, and so much more. Now, once you've got daily life covered, the next question is simple. What restaurants should I be checking out if I come here or if I live here? Now, food always matters to me when I'm looking into a town, and this place has been number 1 on my list my entire life. Because I lived blocks from here for 20 years, I worked here, my brother worked here, my family still comes here to eat. It's been family owned for 50 years, and that food still hasn't changed. That place is Nardi's Pizza. It's right off Lake Street and Addison Road. Grab a pizza, tell Carol I said hi, and let me know if it lives up to the hype. I think it will. Now recently, I called Nardi's the best pizza in Addison, and my TikTok blew up with comments of a better place. So I'm gonna let you be the judge here. Check out Pyramid Sports Bar and let me know which one is the winner. It's a classic sports bar, big menu, big bar, TVs are everywhere, but you be the judge and let me know in the comments below when you check them out. Now last but not least, there's Portillo's. If you know Chicago or if you're not from here, you already know it has Italian beefs, hot dogs, burgers. It's still one of my favorite in the suburbs, and probably always will be. I'll be completely honest with you. After living here for over 20 years, through some of the most important chapters of my life, from a little kid, elementary, all the way up to high school. My first jobs were in this town. I broke both my collarbones in these streets. I rollerbladed this entire town for I don't know how many miles. I biked everywhere. This town houses all of my childhood memories, and I'm really glad I grew up here. The location, as an adult now looking back, is unmatched. So if you're looking at the Chicago suburbs and you care about the commute, affordable housing, and a town that's gonna feel the same years down the road, then this one needs to be on your radar. And if you're still trying to decide which neighborhood fits you or what style of home fits you best, then check out this video where I break down some of the top neighborhoods in Addison, what homes to expect in each subdivision, and their average price points, so you have the most in-depth guide possible through a video. And if you're thinking about moving here, feel free to call, text, DM me. If you just want to ask me about neighborhoods, I'll break it all down over a phone call, no questions asked. I lived here for 20-something years, and I don't have to think about which town is where and what type of homes. It's still in my brain, because I still go to the town all the time. I'll see you in the next video.